Stop thinking that drinking more plain water is enough to protect your skin. Just stop. Because what you're about to hear changes everything about collagen, aging, and what's actually happening beneath the surface of your face right now. I'm Dr. Emma Whitmore, and after 3 decades as a reconstructive surgeon, I have held aging skin in my hands, separated dermal layers under surgical lights, and seen what collagen collapse actually looks like. You think wrinkles are just time passing? You're wrong. Here's what's actually happening inside your body. And by the time I finish explaining this, you will never look at your hydration routine the same way again. When Patricia, 63, was on my procedure table for facial reconstruction after a minor fall tore through tissue that should have been resilient, the real crisis wasn't the cut on her cheek. It was what I saw underneath. Thinned dermal layers, fragmented collagen bundles, structural weakness like a fortress whose support beams had been eaten from within. But to understand how Patricia ended up there, I need to take you back 15 years. She drank water religiously, 8 glasses a day, avoided soda, followed every mainstream recommendation. Her doctor told her she was doing everything right. What nobody told Patricia was that starting in her 50s, her collagen production had dropped by more than 30%, and hydration alone does not supply the amino acids, vitamin C, or trace minerals required to rebuild those fibers. Every single day, fibroblast cells slowed their output. Every single day, glycation from normal blood sugar fluctuations stiffened existing collagen like sugarcoating a rope until it snaps. The tipping point wasn't dramatic. It was subtle. Skin that bruised more easily, a jawline that softened, healing that took longer. Not bad luck. Not genetics. Collagen degradation driven by nutrient gaps and silent glycation. Here's what I see when I operate on someone who has relied on water alone for years. Collagen fibers no longer tightly woven but frayed, disorganized, brittle. That's not a theory. That's what the tissue shows. The culprit has a name, impaired collagen synthesis, and it operates quietly. It starts with inadequate vitamin C to activate prolyl and lysyl hydroxylase, the enzymes that stabilize collagen strands, which leads to weak cross-linking, which leaves fibers vulnerable to oxidative attack, which is triggered by the simple belief that hydration equals nourishment. Your skin is fighting a war it doesn't know it's in. It sends fibroblasts to repair daily microdamage, but without glycine, proline, hydroxyproline, and antioxidant protection, those cells are underarmed soldiers on a collapsing battlefield. Pause this right now and press gently on the skin of your forearm. Let's process the crime scene. When I separate aging dermis under magnification, I don't start by asking how much water someone drinks. I look at the wreckage, fragmented collagen fibrils, widened spaces between structural bundles, elastin fibers that look like overstretched wires. Exhibit A, the collapse is visible. Now we work backward. Collagen is built from glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, assembled by fibroblasts and stabilized through vitamin C-dependent activation of prolyl hydroxylase and lysyl hydroxylase. Without adequate vitamin C, those enzymes stall. Without those enzymes, cross-linking weakens. Without strong cross-links, fibers become easy targets for oxidative stress and glycation. That's the chain. Step 3 is fragmentation. Step 2 is failed stabilization. Step 1 is believing hydration alone supplies the building blocks. Your skin is a fortress under siege. Free radicals are the invading force, generated by UV exposure, stress hormones, and normal metabolism. Glycation is the saboteur inside the gates, binding glucose to collagen and forming advanced glycation end products, AGEs, that stiffen fibers until they crack. Meanwhile, fibroblasts are the exhausted engineers trying to rebuild with half the materials missing. A study published in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology in 2014 has been sitting in the literature for years. 69 women, 8 weeks, daily collagen peptides in. The finding was a significant improvement in skin elasticity compared to placebo. Not a small effect, a measurable increase in dermal density. That's a verdict. Let me put that in real terms for you. Firmer skin in less than 2 months when the body is given usable peptides and the cofactors to deploy them. And yet most advice still stops at, drink more water. Hold on, we're not done. When Robert, 70, came to see me for joint degeneration, the surface complaint was knee stiffness. But imaging and tissue sampling told a broader story: systemic collagen decline. He prided himself on hydration, carried a bottle everywhere. What nobody told him was that chronic low-grade inflammation activates NF-κB pathways, signaling breakdown enzymes called matrix metalloproteinases, MMP1 and MMP9, which literally cut through collagen scaffolding. Every sugary-flavoured water he thought was harmless spiked glucose just enough to fuel glycation. Every inflammatory meal sent more biochemical soldiers to the wrong battlefield. The tipping point came when his recovery after minor arthroscopic surgery lagged months behind expectation. Not aging alone. Accelerated degradation driven by inflammation and glycation working together. Here's the link most doctors never connect. Impaired synthesis and accelerated breakdown feed each other. Weak fibers are easier to glycate. Glycated fibers trigger more inflammation. Inflammation activates more MMP enzymes. That loop becomes self-perpetuating. Screenshot what I just said. You will want to show it to someone who thinks fine lines are cosmetic only. Because there's a third layer to this investigation, and it's the one that connects blood sugar stability, gut absorption, and collagen cross-linking into a single coordinated. There's a third mechanism, and it's the one that ties this entire case together. Structural failure at the cross-linking level, driven by mineral deficiency and impaired gut absorption. You can provide vitamin C, you can ingest collagen peptides, but if the body cannot properly absorb and anchor those materials into stable fibers, the fortress still falls. Silica is the overlooked structural engineer in this war zone. It participates in collagen cross-linking, strengthening the bonds that give connective tissue tensile integrity. Without adequate silica, newly formed collagen remains loosely organized, like scaffolding assembled without rivets. Now layer in digestive compromise. Chronic stress diverts blood flow from the gut. Low-grade inflammation disrupts the intestinal barrier. Nutrient transporters underperform, so even when people supplement, absorption becomes inconsistent. The body sends fibroblasts into battle, but supply lines are cut. When Gerald, 76, arrived in my clinic after a slow-healing surgical incision reopened weeks post-procedure, the surface issue was delayed wound repair. But what I saw underneath was thin dermal architecture with poor cross-link density. Let me take you back. Gerald had done what he was told. High water intake, low fat, standard multivitamin. He avoided sun. He followed instructions precisely. What nobody told him was that after 65, collagen production can decline more than 1% per year, and mineral absorption efficiency drops as stomach acid production decreases. The tipping point was a minor abdominal surgery that should have healed cleanly in 14 days. At day 28, the tissue still lacked tensile strength. Not bad luck, not surgical error. Impaired cross-linking compounded by chronic inflammation and suboptimal nutrient delivery. Here's what changes when you address all three mechanisms simultaneously. Synthesis improves, breakdown slows, and structural anchoring strengthens. I've seen dermal ultrasound measurements increase in thickness over 12 weeks when targeted nutrients are combined correctly. That's not cosmetic illusion, that's measurable architecture. Validation matters here. You did everything you were told. You hydrated. You used creams. You trusted that visible aging was inevitable. The instructions were incomplete. Medical school teaches collagen biochemistry. What it doesn't emphasize is daily practical implementation outside of scurvy prevention. Guidelines lag behind cellular evidence. That's not conspiracy. That's institutional inertia. Before I give you the full protocol, pause this video and look at the ingredient label on any flavored water or beauty drink in your kitchen. If you see added sugars or artificial sweeteners, understand that you are fueling the very glycation pathway we just examined. Write this down. Synthesis, protection, cross-linking. Those are the 3 pillars. Most people skip to the supplement list. Don't. What I'm about to outline works because each component has a defined biochemical assignment within those pillars. In a controlled trial published in Nutrients in 2019, daily bioactive collagen peptide intake increased dermal collagen density and reduced wrinkle volume after 12 weeks. The percentage improvement in elasticity exceeded 7% compared to placebo. Not a trend, a verdict. Now I'm going to give you the exact protocol. But I need you to understand one more thing first. Timing and form determine outcome. Take the wrong form at the wrong time, and the entire operation weakens. Now we move to the sentence. The protocol, not suggestions, not trends. The protocol built directly on the 3 mechanisms: impaired synthesis, accelerated breakdown, and weak cross-linking. Component 1, hydrolyzed collagen peptides, 10 to 15 grams daily, taken in the morning on an empty stomach. Not generic collagen complex. Hydrolyzed peptides with verified di- and tripeptide content because smaller chains cross the intestinal barrier efficiently and stimulate fibroblast activity. Their job is synthesis, supplying glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline to rebuild the scaffold. Component 2, vitamin C, 500 milligrams taken alongside those peptides. Not 50, not whatever's in a multivitamin. 500 milligrams activates prolyl and lysyl hydroxylase, stabilizing and cross-linking new collagen fibers. Without it, synthesis stalls mid-construction. Component 3, silica, sourced from silica-rich mineral water or a standardized orthosilicic acid supplement, providing 5 to 10 milligrams daily. Its job is structural anchoring, reinforcing cross-links so fibers gain tensile strength. Component 4, aloe vera inner leaf extract, 1 to 2 ounces diluted in water daily, food grade only. Its assignment is twofold: antioxidant protection and support of gut integrity, improving nutrient absorption and calming NF-κB-driven inflammatory, signaling that activates collagen-cutting MMP enzymes. Timing matters. Peptides and vitamin C together in the morning, silica with a meal, aloe diluted midday. The mistake that cancels everything: pairing this protocol with high sugar beverages. Glycation will sabotage your rebuild like an enemy agent detonating charges behind newly repaired walls. I know what some of you are thinking right now. My doctor will disagree. Screenshot the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology and Nutrients findings I referenced. Show them as conversation, not confrontation. Most physicians engage when presented with mechanism-based evidence. If yours refuses to review published data, that tells you something. This sounds expensive. Compare it to Patricia's reconstructive procedure and Gerald's extended wound care, tens of thousands of dollars. This protocol averages a few dollars per day. That's arithmetic. How do I know this will work for me? You don't with certainty. What I can tell you is that fibroblast biology is not unique to you. Collagen synthesis pathways operate the same in every human body. The variable is how advanced the degradation is. Starting earlier shifts that curve. Can I just take one component? No. Address synthesis without controlling breakdown and cross-linking, and you slow damage without stopping it. These mechanisms feed each other. They must be interrupted together. When Sylvia, 68, began this exact integrated approach after noticing rapid skin thinning and brittle nails, her baseline dermal scan showed reduced density consistent with age. 12 weeks later, repeat imaging demonstrated measurable improvement in elasticity and hydration retention. Her joint stiffness decreased. Her nail fragility resolved. Not a miracle. A coordinated biological response once the siege was countered on all fronts. Before you do anything else, leave a comment. Tell me your age and the first change you noticed in your skin or joints. Every comment signals that this case matters, and I read them to guide future investigations. Now share this directly with someone over 50 who still believes water alone is enough. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next case examines glycation in depth. How blood sugar silently dictates aging speed. I've compiled the full protocol, study references, exact forms and doses into a downloadable case file called the Collagen Defense Blueprint in the description. Download it. Keep it. Bring it to your next appointment. Before you go, one word. Type STOP if you're changing your routine today already. If you knew part of this, send if you're forwarding it now. You now have what most were never taught to implement. This case isn't closed. Click the next video on glycation warfare. There's another mechanism running beneath this one.